Republicans of Reddit, you have brought great shame to this nation. I want all of you who care enough to stand up and answer this one question. How could you let this happen to your country, and are you not ashamed of yourself? Hello, Internet. Now, there's 3 reasons why you would start your question with Republicans of Reddit in your Ask Reddit post. 1. You're new to the echo chamber and have yet to be re-educated. 2. You've put on a straw hat and are ready to begin your long degenerate life as a karma farmer because internet points are your only sense of validation. Or 3. You've consumed so much Kool-Aid that you've gone from merely disagreeing with the other side to being completely incapable of understanding why anyone thinks differently. Critical thought is no longer a regular process that occurs in your mind. At this point, you're 85% soy. With zero empathy or awareness for other societies beyond your own, you dismiss history, culture, and context as a whole in favor of knee-jerk moral absolutism. And that's who we're going to be talking about today. Now, real quickly, I got some comments wondering whether I used a script in the last video. Yes, of course I did. Some videos I want to take a more serious approach to so that my arguments have a lot more ground to stand on, but since scripts take a while to make, you'll see it only every once in a while. But anyway, on to the posts. So our first post, Republicans of Reddit. What will you do when Trump tries to invade Canada? And I'm surprised this got only 0 upvotes or downvotes, which means there's probably some type of little war happening. But I like this first question. Why does Reddit think we're going to invade Canada? Because the Cheeto-in-Chief said he wanted to make it the 51st state. Alright, but even if that's true, that can be done through like documentation. It doesn't mean that we have to like quarter troops in every single Canadian household. Not that I want this to happen. I think Canada can go be a failing country on its own. You know, when a quarter of your children go to school hungry, that's probably not a good sign, but that isn't our problem at the end of the day. It's called posturing. No one wants your country. Not what I asked. What will you do? Jack off. Man, this guy's profile picture is great. The US is not worried about Canada. No one wants Canadian dry soda. True. What evidence do you have that indicates Trump wants to invade Canada? Do you watch the news or pay attention to world events at all? Why won't anyone answer the question? Because it's stupid. Well, the question is written under the assumption that he is going to invade Canada, which has 0 alignment with the Republican parties and Trump's agenda. To answer your baseless hypothetical question, if he invaded Canada, the large majority of Republicans would protest the war. Now I'm asking, why are you making the claim that he is going to invade Canada? Because he's talking to Canada the same way Hitler talked to Austria and Czechoslovakia before World War II, and he's hinted that he'll send the military into Canada and Panama and Mexico and Greenland, and you can't count on Republicans to stop anything when they haven't stopped him from doing anything yet, and he said that he doesn't have to listen to anyone else if he doesn't want to. He's installed himself as a god emperor, and if you think the rest of the party is going to save the day, I'm afraid you're mistaken. Okay, I just love the ambiguous language he hinted at. When did he hint this? Where is the hint? I did a quick Google search and I couldn't find anywhere where he said he was going to station military members in Canada. That's crazy. But I did hear some of the provinces were considering, citing some documentation to, I don't know, join some of our northern states or something. I could be completely wrong, but anyway, what's one thing Republicans are good at? 42 responses. Being unaccountable hypocrites, racism, keeping a straight face when they're lying their asses off, giving tax cuts to billionaires and everyone else, seizing total control of the government by democratic means. It's only taken them about 40 years to gain enough power where they can just start openly being a fascist theocracy, Christian hate, being closeted, saying stuff no matter how wrong it is and never backing down even if minutes later they contradict what they just said. Triggering liberals, evidently true. Protecting the border and bringing up necessary but difficult political conversations, maintaining their religious and traditional family values, generally better at dealing with criminal activity, etc. You know what? This is actually a pretty fair response for how the Republicans usually approach why they vote for the, Republican Party in general. But Trump and his party haven't done anything to stop school shootings, which is criminal activity. Alright, genius, how are we gonna stop school shooters who act entirely on their own, and most of the time when people see the signs, they don't even report it. The only way to stop someone with a gun is someone else with a gun. Republican voters, what do you think is going to make your life better by allowing the richest citizens to take control and destroy the federal government? Did you guys know that this is the first time billionaires have been involved in the federal government? It's almost like lobbying favors those with the most amount of money. But if you guys noticed a pattern, they love loading the question and poisoning the well before the discussion even begins. You constantly have to be on the defensive because of the way they phrase their questions. Now look, things will be chaotic early on in this Doge process of auditing the government and removing these federal programs that, guess what? A lot of Americans were like, what the fuck is that? And agreed with it being completely removed. Taxes are mandatory. We pay into the system, and I think most Americans expect the taxes to be used in our best interest. And in fact, I would even go as far as to say as the government is obligated to spend our tax money in our best interest. Not that I'm saying that we should get rid of humanitarian aid, but seriously. People are fed up with illegal immigrants getting more support than our own citizens who are still homeless and still have a lot of problems that need to be fixed. It's not because we're evil, it's just a matter of principle. 77 million morons just voted for Trump, with a large percentage of those voting against their own self-interests. So perhaps the Department of Education wasn't helping much anyways. Maybe when the red states start focusing their curriculum on the Bible, then more of these idiots will realize they voted for the antithesis of Christianity into the office. I don't even understand this comment. So first of all, the Department of Education obviously isn't doing its job, because as we can see, they are spending more and more money every single year, but our test grades are not going up. This would mean that it's not really a spending issue on a broader scale. I'm sure some schools have funding issues, but clearly something's not working right. Should we completely remove the Department of Education? No, but it definitely needs new leadership and new solutions. In this second part, maybe when red states start focusing their curriculum on the Bible, then more of these idiots will realize they voted the antithesis of Christianity. I don't know how adding the Bible to school would be the antithesis of Christianity. Like, I'm not in favor of it, but this doesn't even make any sense. But it seems like if your policies are so bad that you can't quote-unquote get a bunch of morons to vote for you, maybe you're the one with the problem. I'm okay with the good chunk of the government going away. Now we're talking. And look at this, we have a perfect example of a Reddit moment. What part? The part that makes sure we have edible food, the military, the post office, the part that protects us from financial institutions stealing our money, the part that, this one's failing too. I mean, we still have plenty of multi-level markets, which are just pyramid schemes going around. And guess what? The government just gets lobbied to not, go against them. And not only that, when they do get fined, the fine is just a small fraction of the money they make. So yeah, they just allow scams to keep going. Maybe we should get complete reformation in that area as well. The part that regulates nuclear power so they don't blow up, the part that prevents child labor, the part that makes sure we have clean water and air, the part that regulates insider trading. Oh yeah, that's doing its job. The part that stops people wanting to overthrow the government by force. Which part? Yeah, you see, this is not gonna work anymore. This is a debate tactic. Rather than having a good faith conversation about what parts of the federal government are doing a horrible job or which parts are completely wasteful spending, they just add all the things that would be necessities for society not to collapse, of course. And even then, I'm sure there could be other solutions, but nah, we need those condoms to go to Iran. Did you see that rocket land? Very smart stuff. Yeah, I'm sure this guy has a company that's going to be competing with SpaceX one day. Genius. Republicans who aren't rich. What is your reasoning behind supporting the Republican Party? Now, this was 9 years ago, but do I have to be rich or something to vote Republican? Why can't I vote Republican if I'm poor? Donald Trump and Elon Musk were once Democrats, right? And there's plenty of rich billionaires that support the Democrat Party, like Bill Gates, Soros. I just don't understand the logic here. Disclaimer, I'm unaffiliated and do not officially support a party, but I do take issue with your question because it assumes that Republicans only exist to promote rich people. This may be your perception, but it is not widely held by Republicans. My experience with Republicans is that they are offended by people who are a burden to society, who don't follow the rules, who are unwilling to do their part. This is one of the most basic differences in opinion with regard to Republicans and Democrats. Dems are usually of the opinion that they need to help the poor and the needy. Republicans feel that the poor and the needy can be helped if they are are unable to help themselves, but believe in hard work rather than receiving free handouts. Oh my god, this is the most reasonable response I could have asked for. Congratulations. This guy only has 142,000 karma, but joined in 2012. Jesus. You do know that many Democrats are very rich. It's not always about how much you have, but how much Democrats want to take. You know, all of Silicon Valley is populated by Democrats, as well as all of the Wall Street in Manhattan. The two groups poured millions into the campaigns of Al Gore, John Kerry, and Barack Obama. Your premise is false. Democrats are just as scuzzy as Republicans. They are just better at lying about it. Well, that's probably not true anymore. This was 9 years ago. I think everybody's caught on now. But you know what's interesting? We actually have a bunch of replies that you would not have seen today because, well, I think you all know. When Republicans say America first, which US problem do Republicans want to solve in America first and how? I mean, if you've been following, isn't it obvious? Not using our tax dollars to support people who shouldn't be here, how about that? And that should include the people who have overstayed visas, or bringing back common sense policies like there are only 2 genders, or getting rid of the racism and sexism that's DEI. If you're asking these sort of questions, there's probably a good reason why you're still confused on why you lost the election. They have no interest in solving problems. They use slogans like America First to pit people against groups of people that MAGA demonizes. If you're angry at the left hand, you won't see what the right hand is doing, i.e. tax breaks for billionaires, allowing corporations to rip off consumers, and most importantly to Trump, funneling your tax dollars into his businesses and seeking revenge for every possible slight. I mean, personally, I'm in favor for tax breaks for everyone, but I like how they don't ever specify allowing corporations to rip consumers off. Like, what exactly are we talking about? Please, give me more general statements. Funneling your tax dollars into his businesses? Is this something that's actually happening? Someone in the comments let me know. I feel like if this was true, it would have gotten way more coverage. Oh, but speaking of corporations, here's one I forgot. How about not allowing corporations to censor people under the direction of the federal government? That's a pretty big one. Even Facebook is lifting a lot of its censorship policies because of that. Getting rid of immigrants, it seems. I feel like you're missing a word here. Putting American citizens first, cutting things like wasteful spending, excessive taxes, or the amount of illegal aliens. Quit using the buzzwords and say what you mean. You want a weakened government controlled by an oligarchy of billionaires. Ah yes, because it's literally impossible for the federal government to waste money. Didn't you guys know? I want a government in Washington that is so weak that it doesn't matter who controls it. Fucking based and true. Thank fucking God. I'm so glad I've seen at least one Redditor finally say it. Anyway, next one. Why do you think Republicans are so susceptible to conspiracy theories? Well, here's my question. Why is it that 50% of the time that you label something a conspiracy theory, that it actually turns out to be true, especially in regards to the government? Maybe it's because people lie on a constant basis, so they don't really, have a source to trust anymore. But let's see what Redditors have to say. Religion, mental illness, conspiracy theories, and general weak-mindedness are all traits of the type of person who associates morality with political theory. I'm sorry, but religion and mental illness actually have nothing to do with people believing in conspiracy theories. There's been so much bullshit all throughout human history that normal people can recognize when something is not up. I mean, hell, do you know why vaccines causing autism is such a big thing? The media. In the early 2000s, the media ran full guns a-blazing on the idea that some dude's unsubstantiated early access paper was completely and 100% legit. H Bomber Guy did a video on it that I really recommend that you go watch because it's a fantastic video. But it's usually the people who they tell you to trust most that push the biggest bullshit. Like, I don't know, the CIA? FBI? When did the left start trusting the government so much? I really don't understand. Because the Republican Party made a deliberate and cynical effort to appeal to those people. It's not that Republicans are more susceptible to conspiracy theories, it's that the Republicans openly welcome the conspiracy theorists to the party in a way Democrats don't. Yeah guys, when Hillary Clinton's campaign and the DNC indirectly helped fund the Steele dossier, that was totally not inviting conspiracy theories. It's not like they fabricated Russian ties to Donald Trump in any sort of way, no. That's not what happened at all. Liberals have conspiracy theories too. Hell, the anti-vax movement wasn't always a right-wing show. So many crunchy granola moms on that train back in the day. There was also a ton of 9/11 conspiracy theories that were very popular amongst the anti-Bush crowd. But these days, if you're into that, you'll feel much more at home with the Republicans than Democrats. Republicans love those idiots, the Dems don't. Wait, hold on. I actually have a post. Americans, how does it feel to have lost the Cold War after all those years, now that a KGB agent ended up in the Oval Office? But no, it's the Republicans that invite the conspiracy theorists, trust me. Now, jokes aside, there actually is some truth to this, and it's because of the lying. You know how often I read false information on this site every single day? The lack of transparency and the lies are what creates conspiracy theories. Most people don't just wake up one day and decide to be retarded. You either slowly or quickly burn away all their trust. It's really not a political thing in my opinion. They're usually raised in a very small bubble of experience with limited education and a fundamental lack of critical thinking skills. They're pretty much doomed from the start. This is just the most mid-wit comment I could ever read. I think we all see what colleges are teaching, and, if that's educated, maybe I don't want to be educated. But I think outside the social sciences, there are quite a lot of right-leaning people who get into education, especially in STEM. But saying someone has a fundamental lack of critical thinking skills is beyond pretentious. People are usually very adaptable in their own environments. Like, if I pulled some liberal college student out and put them on a farm, I feel like they would be way out of their element. People just adapt to different environments. If you don't require evidence for your beliefs, you can believe anything. Most Republicans are religious, which dictates you should just believe without evidence, so they believe anything. Nah, but there are like 600 genders. And as long as you believe you're one of them, it becomes true. And if you say I'm wrong, I'm gonna ruin your life, but I promise you guys, it's not a cult. Because they're humans, everyone is susceptible to conspiracy theories. And I think I'm gonna leave it on that, guys. If you liked the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will probably see you guys tomorrow. But anyway, on to the patrons. Oh, and real quick about that last one, I forgot to mention astrology, alright? There's a lot of these enlightened liberal women who will literally kill each other if their, tarot card said so. But anyway, thank you so much to 3 new members that I completely forgot about on the YouTube memberships. These people have been actually subscribed for quite a while, and I just completely, missed them. So I greatly apologize. It is the 3 new base certified members, Highware5 or Highware? Angry Mouse, and username here. And onto our based gods, we have XX Schisms XX, Your Local Inquisitor, Triple X Medic, and Cheese Stick Fanatic. Into our base legends, we have Kada, Yoru Imiya, Mr. Praria, Andrew P, and GeoL1912. Into our super based members, we have Shadow Dial, Devin Dekron, Contranock, Red Z, Aziz Degley, Pimtool, Joseph Miller, Zach Orange, Peef Rimgar, Wyatt P, Seth M, Mr. Shank, Name 345, Garrison Painter, and Justin R. And thank you to our base certified members, Bone Bleout 762, Crowbon, Joker Gaming, Nathan Quinn, Matthew M, Doo-Wop Diggy, Blom Green, Tom, Matthew Armstrong, Thomas Lehman, Rezu Jordan, Arcturus 51, Worm, Serbian Sicko 92, Terre, Turkey Dog, Easy Joe, Levy Velasco, Crow Eater 1836, Filler, Hilde, Joe Billy, Crocodilus, Wes, Snidler, Cog Ghosted, Clan of One, Luca Bro, Sean S, 8 Monkey, Borovka V, Florianic 3000, Alana K, Sweaty Jorts, and Kitsy. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Peace.